All right, what up, what up, what up, y'all? Can you hear me? Can you hear me, Jaime? Let me know if you can hear me, brother. Let me know if y'all can hear me. Oh, okay, what up, Steph? My sister Steph says she can hear. She can hear loud and clear. What up, y'all? Hope y'all doing good. It's December, last month of Q4, last month of the year. I hope you guys are ready to lock in for 2026 and just go crazy, man, with all your goals. So right here is just a picture, okay? This is developing your trading plan. The reason for this call tonight is to go over some mindset stuff, okay? Because taking the trades, learning how to trade is a separate part of this ordeal. The second part is mindset. If you don't ever learn how to be disciplined, then you know what I mean? You could lose all your capital in one trade just not being disciplined, right? And that's called gambling. And it happens to people, it's happened to myself. It's not something that you want to make a habit because with trading, although it could feel like it in the beginning when you don't really know what you're doing, it is not gambling. You are taking educated, I guess, guesses, but from a standpoint of having confirmations. The second you're not taking your confirmations to take trades, it becomes gambling, and you're gonna get mixed. Well, not mixed results. You're gonna get very bad results, guys. Okay, so just a little bit about me. My name is Joe Anthony. I'm from California. I've been day trading now for 3 years. I got started with a network marketing company. Now I'm solo. Now I got a business with my brother named Suave. He's the educator that's hosting every Sunday Outlook call. Now we just deal with people direct. We cut out the middleman. We cut out the companies. We're not making people pay for subscription. You are paying for my time one time. It's a lifetime payment. But then after that, I'm making sure you learn how to trade. I'm making sure you learn the difference in trading. We're giving massive value all the time. I help out. You get free sessions. And you know what I mean? You really just get a lifelong friend. As long as you don't do nothing shisty or janky, then we should have a good business relationship going forward. Um, but yeah, I've been trading for 3 years. I'm profitable. Um, it took me my first year just to learn how to trade. It took me 6 minutes to really lock in a strategy, and then 6 months. And the next 6 months, I spent just perfecting it, just to see if it was duplicatable. Last year, I figured out it was duplicatable with my brother, with my partner Suave, and I taught him the sauce, and now he's teaching it for us. Okay, so that's how duplicatable it is. We have new students flipping 100% accounts and finding success with just following TSQ. Okay, guys. So that's enough about me. 3 years, California, and this is what I do now. I also play the game. I make a lot of money off of social media. So when it comes down to this, when it talks about risk management, guys, that's one of the first things that I wanted to go over tonight. If not one of the first things, one of the main things. Let me shut the door real quick. You guys can hear the laundry. One of the main things is I wanted everyone to be realistic when it comes to trading. Okay. And why do I say that? Is because you have to be realistic with your own finances, with your own situation, your own life, your own reality is going to determine how this should look. I teach people on $100 account so that way your risk at 10% is only $10. Most people can lose $10 from an investment, and or make $10 and decide, what can I do with this? But $10 isn't gonna break you, okay? Nowadays, that's a cup of coffee. That's the reason why I start people with $100 accounts, and I trade real accounts. We don't trade no demos, because demo just leads you to get to gambling quicker, and I just don't like it. I didn't learn that way, so I can't teach you the way that I didn't learn. You know what I mean? I'm trading the way I learned. I'm teaching the way I learned how to trade. So tonight I wanted to talk about being realistic. Trade my plan and plan my trade. Okay, so if your plan calls for with $100, it's gonna be from 3 to 10%. So you're gonna be risking 3, which is gonna be 30 or 3%, 30 pips, 10 pips to that full $10 of $100. Okay, simple math, guys. If $100 is 100%, $10 is 10%, and per trade you want to risk 30 to 100 pips per trade. The lower you go on your pip count, the more trades you could get out of that whole $100. But the bottom line, you should be taking 10 trades, risking 10% per trade. And with our TSQ, you're going to make profit and you're going to be profitable. I haven't seen, or I don't know if anyone else could say, they've been in my chat for a long time. I've never went 10 trades, losses back to back. I don't think I've had more than 3 losses back to back when I'm dropping trades for the chat, when we're taking TSQ trades, let alone sometimes some trades aren't TSQ certified. So if you're taking a TSQ trade 8 times out of 10, you're not hitting 4 or 5 losses back to back. And when you trade on the 4 hour, when you go higher time frame, you take even less losses. Okay, the only losses you're going to really take is from over trading and from gambling, from entering at the wrong zones, from not waiting from your rules. Okay, so trading my plan, for me, trading my plan means I'm going to wake up in New York session and I'm going to risk. So when I said that $100, guys, you got to think of it this way. If I said you have a $10 stop loss limit, okay, this is for every one of my students. A couple of you guys are on tonight. If you have $10 to lose, that means you could take, sometimes people see us take a loss and then they see us get back in and they're confused, like, oh, I thought you hit stop loss. I don't want to overtrade. Bro, you have $10. That means you could split that up into 3 positions. That means you could take 1, 2, 3 stop losses at 3% per trade. Okay? That's how you have to treat your session. If you're taking one trade at 10%, $10 per trade, and you're losing and you give up and that's it for your session, you have to walk away. You don't want to overtrade and you don't want to emotionally, become conflicted and start trading that way. It leads to bad things. I know, trust me. But that's the idea, guys. So if you see us take a stop loss and we got back in it and we hit TP and you're like, what the heck? I probably took a lower position trade. I took a 3% trade. I didn't risk 10% of my portfolio, right? And when you do that, that gives you more breathing room. And it also, you guys should be doing that. You don't have to, because you're still going to be positive ROI with the regular 10% because that's how I built it. But the more you practice the 3% rule, you're going to have a lot more wins over your losses, and your losses aren't going to affect you, obviously, because you're taking that 3%. Now, in order to use that 3%, you're like, Joe, 30 pips doesn't really make sense to me, right? 30 pips can be enough if you're trading with enough volume in the market. So that's waiting for New York Open, 7:30 our time here in Arizona, or you're waiting for Gold Open, which is 4 p.m. or 5 p.m., whatever time it turns to with the new hour daylight savings type stuff, right? If you're catching a trade in momentum, 30 pips is more than enough, because a lot of times 30 pips is my security blanket, where if it goes 30 pips above, I'm moving break even. I know other traders that do 15 pips in their direction, and they're moving break even. If you guys follow either one of those rules, you guys will be safe with a lot of stop losses smacked, but losing $0, losing 0%, losing a freaking decimal. It doesn't matter if you take 10 losses at a freaking decimal point of 0.00001, you lose 10 cents. That doesn't matter. And that means let's say you take 10 break evens on the one where it hits and it goes 250 pips, 500 pips. Like I've been calling buys the last 2 weeks. I just called a buy off of 42.25 and it went up over 600, 700 pips, possibly 500 pips. Who knows? Massive amount of pips, almost 1,000 pips. It went crazy. There's no reason why you guys couldn't risk 30% while it was in momentum, while it's buying up in these peak hours, and you would have made money. You would have been profitable. You would have secured profits. I don't want to talk about making money, but you would have secured profits, okay? And this is apparent. If you guys look in the chat, check with some of my students or whatever, this stuff is posted live. I post it there intentionally. I don't try to keep nothing, this relationship hush hush or whatever. I put everything on the forefront so I could be transparent. I show my students what the real is, and I'm teaching them how to take advantage of it, okay? So this is why 3% sometimes works to your favor. And you got to think of it. That means you have 3 entries at any given time to take your trade. If you're trading TSQ and you're going for 100 pips, 50 pips, 150, 250 plus, bro, catch it. And this is why you have to pay attention to your zones, because if you're trying to use a 30 pip stop loss, that means you want to see a breakout of 2025 or the 25, the quarter level, and then not come back. You want to see it go above, drop a little bit, come to your retest zone, and take off. If it doesn't, that's the trade you want to leave at a stop loss and walk away. You shouldn't be willing to always hold it just to get your results, because like we said before, if you're right too soon, you could be wrong. Being too early to a trade a lot of times has you ending up wrong with a stop loss, rather than it does have you being right with a TP hit. People see this stuff all the time. You take a trade too early, it drops down, hits your stop loss, and then it takes off. You didn't wait for the retest. You didn't wait for the breakout. Or maybe you did. Or maybe it broke out and you didn't go to break even and it comes back to your stop loss. If you're seeing that, this is the reason why. And understanding this right here can help you. Targets, guys. Fixed or trailing stop. This is what I'm talking about. I am trailing my stop. I don't have fixed targets. I trail stop. Gold is so volatile. It could break out 70, 90 pips like it did on Thursday morning or the last buy call. Then it just started shooting up. I'm trailing. Every time it goes to a $5 place, guys, have this in mind. Every time it goes from 25 to 30, I move stop loss to 30. When it goes from 30 to 35, I move stop loss to 34.5. Guess what? It's most likely going to go to 40. And you do it that way, guys. You do 39.5. You don't do 40 exactly. This is another piece of game I'm giving you guys, right? That we haven't necessarily talked about, but that's the mindset. That's the way it works, because we see that gold respects psychological numbers. and it respects $5, $10, and 25 plays very strong. So with knowing that, this is why I trail stop loss at 39.2, 39.5. Because guess what? It might come smack 39.40, but it didn't smack 39.5. And one of my students got to see this the other week when I gave a .9 stop loss, and it didn't hit his stop loss because of the .9 number. Okay, that .9 saved him to where he was able to go hit a TP, make money, not lose money, just because of following the stop loss, guys, and knowing these things with the psychological numbers. A lot of my people new to the space aren't going to know that. Okay, that takes experience to learn. And if you don't have the experience and you don't have the time, then you need to go back test and look at exact precise numbers that it's stopping at. Okay, stops, percentage, loss, are always from market structure. Your stops, a lot of times, yes. When you're going at these quarter levels, you want to look at what was the recent low or what is your percentage. And this is where you guys need to determine if you could use a recent low and it fits inside of your stop loss percentage, then you're fine. If you're finding your stop loss at the low is too much, you're risking too much, then that means you need to wait for it to draw down. And if it doesn't draw down, then that doesn't mean you take an extra bigger stop loss. You could do that, but that's not following your plan. That's not trading your plan. That's now gambling. The second you see us 40 pips in profit and you want to treat the same stop loss, you want to take the same stop loss as us? No, you do not do that. That's a no-no. Now you're gambling just because you see us in profits. FOMO, fear of missing out. What you want to do, if you are getting in over trading because you didn't take the first entry or you're catching in momentum, you have to be okay with using your percentage loss. That means if you see we're already 50 pips in profit and you want to enter that buy momentum, you have to be really willing to risk your 10% at that place. You don't risk 20% because we already caught some momentum. That's backwards. It's not how it works. You could wait for the next setup because there's always another trade, which new traders always struggle with as well. Okay, you see us take a trade and you want to participate, you need to be patient. Okay, there's enough moves. I don't get mad or feel left out when I miss Suave's trades. I don't. But good thing for you guys, you guys are getting the best of both worlds right now. You guys are getting me and Suave and other leaders that I respect and that really know what they're doing, that are profitable traders. You're getting trades from all over right now. I'm giving you guys massive value, okay? It's giving you hella entries and it's just giving you hella insight, okay? And you guys, for the most part, have felt comfortable or need to feel comfortable trusting those entries because we're not giving bullshit out. We're not just calling this or calling that. We're waiting for confirmations, and we're always positive at the end of the week. We haven't really had no bad weeks that make us look bad or that have everyone scratching their head and looking at us like, what's going on? Entries, pullback, breakout, crossover, okay? Crossover, we're using the EMAs. If you see a slight EMA and it's at your zone of interest, if it's at your entry mark and you see an EMA crossover in 1 minute, 5 minute, that could help you, but that just needs to be a confirmation that you're looking for in your plan. Okay, breakout. That's the breakout. That's where when it breaks out of structure, it could have a pullback and a retest, but it could break out and never retest. So with that trailing stop loss, you guys need to start assessing how you want to attack your trade. When you catch golden momentum and it's leaving, you could trail. You could wait for breakouts. And these are the things you could have as indicators in your trading plan that you say, I need to see this before I get in and for me to feel comfortable. Okay, guys, this is how you're going to start stacking up different confirmations to become whatever trading plan works out for you. Okay, because just because you see Joe does this trailing stop, you might be working a job and you can't move your trailing stop at all times, or you need to get a different software that's doing it, or you need to pay for that feature from TradingView. Okay, either way, you got to figure it out, or you got to have fixed targets, right? You got to have fixed targets, meaning I'm happy with catching 30 because it doesn't always hit 50, but it always hits 30. Always hits 30. Doesn't always hit 50, but it always hits 30. You do that, and that could change you and take you to a profitable trader. I promise you. Certain things when I was on certain educators' calls just started clicking for me when I came up with TSQ quarter levels. And boom, I started seeing success. So hopefully that happens for you tonight. Hopefully I say something that just clicks in your ear and you're like, oh, I didn't know I could approach it that way. Now you can. And all you got to do is make the rule, trading your plan and planning your trade. That's all you got to do, and you're going to be profitable. You're going to win. And if you're not winning, you're going to be able to document and say, bro, this doesn't work. I have the proof. but you ain't live trading more than me, so I doubt it's gonna happen. Okay, and if you do, then show me. You know what I mean? We could make a video about it, put me on blast, whatever. Markets, options, equity, futures, forex. Doesn't matter. We trade forex. We trade gold. You want to learn how to trade futures? You know what I mean? You get with Gustavo, educator. I put in your guys' presence for a reason. You want to learn how to trade equity? I don't know. I don't know where you go. You want to learn how to trade options? I do have some people for you that I could suggest to you. Okay, you guys come talk to me and I'll get you laced up with that. Time frame, day trade, 15 to 60, right? 15 minutes to an hour, day trade. Swing trade, 4 hour to a day. Sometimes we swing. Lately, we've been looking at swings, but we're not all taking swings, okay? Because it takes too long sometimes, right? Position trade, 1 day to 1 week. I don't position trade with you guys. I don't do that. I do teach certain students or certain friends, I'll say friends, on what cryptos to invest in and hold long term, okay? But not everyone's as big into crypto as me, and I'm not as big into stocks anymore. I'm very crypto oriented. And I'm just a crypto guy. So that's what I love. Got the Bitcoin right here. That's what I'm pushing crypto. That's what I believe in. So I don't really have no position trades for you. One, for example, is I asked one of my mentors if I should swing silver back $10 ago on silver. And now, and whatever, it doesn't matter what he said. But silver's up now and has the highest ROI on the year, beating Bitcoin and gold, I'm pretty sure. Silver outperformed every class this year, and everyone was sleeping on it. I could have took that trade 6 months ago, and that would have, oh my God, it would have been big. It would have been massive. That was a game-changing trade. But guess what? I'm not there yet. I'm not dropping 10, 20, 40K or all my capital or this much money on swing trades yet. I'm not there yet, okay? I make my money from social media. I don't make all my money from trading. And then at that, I owe big IRS statements. So it's I'm not taking those big swings yet, or I'm not even putting 400 in a swing trade and watching it go for 3 months. I'm just not there yet. Will I get there? Yes, because times like this, while we're getting educated and learning the markets from real world experience, this is all happening to us now. We can't make money off 2008 because it's not 2008 no more. But guess what? With this recession and everything happening now, and we just seen it again, better know, or even with these crypto drops, buy the dip. Buy real estate. Buy these things that haven't left our civilization for the last century, decades. This stuff is proven, right? So, I just seen on my mentor Gustavo's call the other night, where gold was. Some of you guys seen it too, where gold was in 1990, and the massive up growth it's been having, right? Regardless of a big pullback or whatever, it's always growing. Same thing with Bitcoin. So that's it for this. You guys see all this? That's it for what's on the screen. Another thing I wanted to talk about is winning to you guys making money, or is winning about executing properly? Okay, because this is what leads to over trading for a bunch of you guys. Let me just check. Okay. No one said anything. I just checked in my chat to see if anyone said oh, you're muted or something. But is winning making money, or is winning executing properly? That's something you have to decide for yourself. And you don't want to compare yourself to no one else. You guys are in the chat. You guys see other educators. You guys see this. You guys see that. You guys are getting influenced all day. Stop comparing your results to the next person's results, okay? Your life is not their life. Their life is not yours. Is winning making money, or is it executing properly? To me, winning, win, lose, or draw the trade is trading my plan and showing up the day how I said I was going to show up as a professional trader. Not as a gambler, not as someone who's playing the game till whatever, and I happen to take a trade and send it out and blah, blah, blah. That's not what I'm doing, guys. That's not what's going on. It is not casual trading or just any entries. I'm sending them to you guys. I'm taking more trades on my own solo, but I'm sending them to my chat and to my people. These are going to be, they follow the rules. These are not just gambles. These are not just darts thrown in the dark because I don't want to ruin my reputation. I'm not trying to just, and at that too, I'm not just trying to feed you guys bullshit trades to say, oh, I gave you a trade. No, I'm trying to send you the best trades so that way you make money, and so that way you don't bug me and you don't cry. You know what I mean? That's the real mindset behind it. So for me, guys, winning is making sure I followed all my rules And on top of that, making sure I was able to feed my community. If I get to give you guys a trade, I feel twice as good that morning when I win. If I even give you guys a losing trade and I follow the rules and we take a simple stop loss, I feel good because I won. I did it how I'm supposed to do it. Tomorrow's coming. Win's right around the corner. I promise you. We've been smacking. Win's right around the corner. So as long as we don't dwell on the losses and turn none of our losses into big boys, no problem. We're not worried about it. Change whatever is in your mindset from thinking I gotta make this or whatever, because that's how you end up making 100% your account and then you lose 100% your account. That's how that happens, because you're thinking winning is making money. You're not thinking winning is following the rules. Winning is following your trading plan. Okay, guys. That's when it comes down to it, you need to think you need to think robot. You need to think machine. We're not machines. We're human. We make mistakes, but you need to try to get to a machine-like as close as possible. When it comes to your trading, it needs to be boring. If you're excited while you're trading, you're emotionally evolved and you're having too much fun. And you might not be following every rule, every criteria. And the second you're not following one of these rules, you're not a robot, so your shit don't blink and say, hey, indicator. It don't say check engine light. No one's going to tell you. We don't have that software developed yet, right? That would be a nice idea. Like put a helmet on and it tells you have to do a checklist. AI. Did this happen? Did this happen? Did this happen? The second you're trading, it could detect your mind, right? Neuralink with Elon Musk. The second you're gambling or leaving out a rule or going against your own, what you know as a truth, beep, beep, beep. Imagine it blinked and it said you need to stop. That would make everyone hella profitable, but that's not what happens, right? And this is why all these prop firms and all these places that do the funded accounts are all these credits and all this promotion that they give is because they know 9 times out of 10 you're going to trade like a human and give them the money. You're going to fuck it up. It's just like the casino. Always ends up back to the house. House always wins for that reason, because when people are up, they don't have something telling them, hey, you said you were going to come here and make $100. You made $100. You need to get out. Most people lack discipline. So try to think like a robot, guys. Try to get there as much as you can. Keep your trading boring. Don't get too excited. If you're getting excited, that's another time to say, okay, I got to walk away. Thursday or whenever I called the buy, I was catching buys, boom, 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 and it went up. It went off. If I would have kept over trading, I would have made a lot of money that day. Probably the most I ever made. But guess what? I told myself I hit my targets. I need to go to bed. And I went to bed, or I laid down, or fixed my truck. I did something else, but I walked away from the trading board. I walked away from the laptop. Even though my trades were all smacking hitting, I had to walk away because I did what I came to do. Do not get greedy and keep it boring. I promise you, those wins from over trading or from gambling, they do feel good, because let's say you took a couple losses and you hit big and now you can show it off and now it self-validates. Bro, it is not sustainable and it is not what you're after. What you're after is being able to walk away with your goal met, or being able to walk away with your stop loss met with with risk management. Risk management is going to keep you profitable from this year to next year. I promise you. Nothing else is what you're chasing after. Because what's the point of making 10 grand in a month to lose 12 grand in a day? To lose 12 grand in a second. I tell you guys, my first biggest flip was $180 to $900. I followed my mentor's trade. It smacked stop loss. I over leveraged and I lost $900 in 2 minutes. That's just an experience and my truth for you guys. The 900 probably took me a few weeks to make. Flipping, catching trades, over 80 trades, catching trades. Boom, 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 boom here. I over leveraged one trade from another person. And it was going against my rules, but I just told myself, F it, over leverage, and I'm riding bros, taking bros bet. And it messed me up. I lost 900 in 2 minutes. But I was not affected or didn't really care, because that 900 came from $80, right? But now I'm negative. When I blew the account, now I'm negative $80. And that's what I'm talking about, guys. Risk management is what you're after. You're not after trying to make 10K in a minute to lose your life savings or to lose whatever else you got going on in a second. You know what I mean? Because it takes you some time. So you know what comes fast leaves faster. That's what you guys got to realize. The second idea to think about is, what if you stopped over leveraging or over trading? You get winning results that pay, and that means when you hit your stop loss for the second or third time, depending on your rules, you're able to shut it off and walk away. The reason why I made a note of this or made a little bulletin about it is because, like I said, the second you guys start following a real trading plan is going to be the second you take 10, 20 trades, and you can look back and say, with 10, you can say, oh, I hit 6 out of 10, 60% winning rate. Oh, 20, now I hit 12. That's probably 60% too. I'm not sure. But now I hit 14, 16, 68, 70% winning rate. Once you start following the plan and you document it, you guys should be journaling as well. I don't journal. Um, Something I should do going into this new year. I don't journal. I let my account kind of speak for itself. And in my real life, you know what I mean? Like my account right now is profitable. That's really my journal. If I was blowing accounts, then maybe I would need to journal. Or if I was on a funded account, maybe I would need to journal more. Like people who use funded accounts and they blow the account, cost 60, cost $100, whatever. They lose and they restart. They need to journal more because they're just switching into another account so they don't see the history. My history is all there, so I'm able to see it. You know what I mean? So I know what I'm doing. But journaling is important because you also get to nowadays I did it without journaling, and I just become more disciplined. I continue to self develop, but for anyone starting out or anyone that hasn't got it yet or doesn't have as much time as me, then you should journal because you can start documenting emotions and other things in your brain that made you take certain trades and whatnot, because you can start noticing patterns, because it might not be the trading or the strategy. It might just be your emotions that's making you negative in your ROI section, in your profits, right? So So the reason, the last thing I'm gonna end this call on is the real reason, right? Is because you want to trade like a robot, whatever, blah blah blah, and it's because you don't want no emotions to overtake your mindset while you're in this thing, right? A whole bunch of things I talked about tonight, whatever. It's been a 30-minute call, but all these things play into an effect, right? You guys study, you guys been looking at these calls all week. Come Monday morning, come Monday afternoon, or London session when some of you guys are trading right before bed and then you can't even sleep because you're in a trade. Bro, follow the rules. Don't stress yourself out. Don't do that anymore. I need you guys to make a promise to yourself that you're not going to do that anymore. That you're going to let losses be losses and walk away from the computer. If you don't let losses be losses, blown accounts are not a myth. Blown accounts are destined in your future if you cannot learn to walk away, guys. Understand that the best investment is always in yourself, okay? The reason why I say that is because we got things going on, like an event tomorrow for my mentor and educator, John. A lot of you guys know John Oliver, multi-million dollar multi-company owning man, right? This is a great businessman to learn from. Invest in yourself, guys. Whether I don't care who you guys go learn from, I don't care what else you guys are learning, I don't care what else you guys are doing, but continue to invest in yourself. Do not compare yourself to others. If you can't invest into crypto right now and you're just only investing into this stuff going on, if you only bought into me and CJ, the Splash Bros, that is a good thing, because guess what? I'm gonna tell you to keep investing more into yourself. Our money grab from you is not supposed to make us rich. We're not trying to, when you guys hit us and we pay, we're really just, oh, dang. 1 second. Okay, guys. So when you guys hit us with a payment, and for most of you guys who started off in the beginning, it used to be under $50. What are we doing with that? Like, come on, guys. You guys are just paying us for our time, because what it took me to invest in myself to learn this stuff was at least probably, I don't know, let's say at least $1,500, guys. And that wasn't from one mentorship from one person. That was just paying my monthly payment so that way I could be on the classes, be on the calls, and study all the courses. Okay. I did learn a lot. I learned about liquidity. I learned about all these different things in trading, guys, and I refined it to what makes sense for me because I didn't have all the time in the world. I started this when I was working construction. I didn't have an open schedule. So that's why my strategy is so simple and doesn't have everything you see going on everyone else's. Other people got indicators. Other people got this. Other people got this fancy stuff, or, they wait for this. Yes, that can help you and that could work very good, trading off of volume or doing this. And it might be smarter, but guess what? When you're a busy person and you could use the 4 hour to your advantage, you take less trades. Obviously, you might miss some because you might be a little busy, but you take less trades and you have a winning positive reflection on your account. You have a positive ROI. Okay, that's why we use TSQ. You guys are learning about TSK from Gustavo. TSK is the same thing essentially. I learned a whole bunch of parts from Gustavo Alaniz. Shouts out to him. But the idea with quarter levels in TSQ is that you're not taking every key level entry. You guys are taking quarter level entries because they happen far less and they pay out way more. Once you guys could decipher that, you'll see where you guys are over trading and where you need to step it back a little bit, because my strategy is not about catching a trade per day. My strategy, really, you might catch 3 to 5 trades per week. And with that strategy, 3 to 5 good trades, they're going to pay out a few hundred pips. And that's all you need, guys. That's all you guys need. So anyways, I went over a little bit, but I hope you guys enjoyed the call. There'll be more calls weekly. We're bringing more value to the space. I hope you guys got some insight. Pretty soon here, I'll have it where you guys can send questions and I'll interact. Getting a new monitor coming soon. Upgrades. But yeah, I appreciate you guys. Thank you for tapping in with the Splash Bros. Shout out to my brother for hosting every Sunday call the last few months. And I really appreciate everyone who invests into me, into my family, and believes in the dream. With music, with skits, with everything we got going on, guys. I really appreciate everyone that shows love. I love you guys. I appreciate you. Have a good night. Have a good weekend too, you guys. Be safe. If you guys have questions, DM me. I got you. That's it.